other organisations that we were working with at the time. I wanted to show you some before and after pictures during the restoration. So basically in the 1970s and 80s, conservation didn't seem to be a thing at Rochdale Council and the building was butchered. There were mezzanine floors put in, there were things covering things up, things boxed up, all the main heritage features. So a lot of the building was damaged. As you can see on the picture of the left, the Bright Hall, that's what it used to look like before, and it was a council offices and the music service were based there. The second picture is now our Bright Hall, which is our dedicated community and learning space. As you can see, it's 2 floors, the mezzanines were ripped out, everything was taken back to its original features. A few other pictures, as you can see on the left hand side, really stuffy council meeting space. That's now become our welcome gallery, which kind of sets the story for the town hall, tells people what we intend to do, the story of Rochdale and the story of town hall and its place in the centre of the town. Another before and after picture. So the picture on the left hand side is the angels as we found them when we went up in the scaffolding, and these are one of our volunteer conservators working on the angels. Something to mention at this point that in the 70s everything was varnished, so they polyurethane varnished all the woodwork, all the angels, everything that was beautiful, and that darkened over time. So a lot of the decoration, as you can see, you couldn't see the patterns, you couldn't see the paintwork, you couldn't see the gold gild. So hundreds of hours of painstaking work from volunteers, conservators, placement students managed to get everything back to its original state. While we were closed in the building, well, the building work was continuing, myself and the team, we ran an engagement programme. So we did 8 arts commissions. So those commissions were kind of outreach work. We were going to community schools, worked with veterans, new arrivals, youth group schools, to engage with them. So we employed 8 artists who went out and worked with those schools to create artwork that then would sit within our building. So we were still kind of building the momentum up to opening. We were closed for 4 years during the restoration, so to keep people engaged and interested and part of what we were doing, it was a really good way to involve people. A lot of the artwork was inspired by the building and people's stories. Like I said, a lot of this sits in the hall, so the work that you can see there was put into the ceiling, just like to match some of the other decorative features across the site. Another one of the arts commissions there, we worked with youth groups. I think it was meant to be a Lancashire maid. Another arts commission there, which was the Fabric of Rochdale, which was a video we created. So 8 commissions that now sit in the building. They sit on our digital information screens, they sit in the rooms, and they're really part of our building. And it also helped us make connections with the community that Town Hall had never had before. The Town Hall's a municipal building. My first experience of being in the Town Hall was being shouted, "Oi, where you going?" It wasn't very a welcoming space. So we've had the joy of being able to make sure that the doors are open, people are welcomed, people are friendly, and people feel like that the Town Hall is for them. Also, while we were closed, we co-produced all our exhibitions with our volunteers and local community members. And when we say co-produced, that was everything from selecting the objects that were going to be going in exhibition, researching the stories that we wanted to tell, even cleaning the objects and working with object conservators and people like that to learn those skills. Hundreds and hundreds of hours by volunteers doing this work, like I said, over the 4-year period. Oops. It wasn't just the exhibition, the furniture, the things that sit in the rooms, the tables, the chairs, everything. Working with Lancashire Conservation Studios. We work closely with the local museum touchstones as well, because they are the museum. We're not actually an accredited museum. So we work with those guys to help us. They were holding our collections basically for the Town Hall. We'd never had anywhere suitable, so now we've brought those collections back for people to see. All that leads us up to our opening day. You must excuse me because it is a whistle stop. We'd be here all day if we had to talk to you about it, but hopefully this is going to work. This is our opening day. We had 2,500 people turn up to our opening day. Huge anticipation, lots of people waiting to get in. Just kind of shows you the different spaces, how they've changed, how it is fully accessible. You'll notice a lot of our volunteers, but I'm going to let Kat talk about our volunteer story quite soon. I don't think it's going to work. I hope the volunteer one works. Sorry about that. If you do want to see some of these videos later on, you can always, we've got our email address on there. I can email things out to you and show you. Okay, but handing over to Kat.
So Vicky and I, one of our roles is to install a activity plan funded by the National Heritage Lottery Fund. So I thought we'd play a game, because I like to play games. So we'll do a raising hands. How many members of staff are there in the engagement team in Rochdale Town Hall? So if you think, hey, there's 5 members of our team putting together this activity plan. It's massive, it's huge. We've got a big building to fill. 5 people in this team. Who thinks 5? No, nobody thinks. Who thinks there's 10 people in our team? You think there's 10? Fantastic. Who thinks there might be 2 people? Oh, well done. Fantastic. Yep, that's right. 2 members of the team, and it's a really ambitious activity plan that we're doing. But look us, dream team, we're bringing it on. So how many different projects do you think we might have ran since opening in March 2024? Do you think we might have done about 20 to 30 different projects? Yeah, thank you. I'm liking the engagement. Do you think 10 to 20? Yeah, about 300? Yes, thank you very much. We're well hard, we're from the north, we just crack on. Right, so here's a few of our projects in no particular order. Let's see whether I can do it really quick, like I'm doing an auction. I'm going to get tongue-tied. The development and delivery of a daily public tour. The number of individuals on a tour, we've had 13,894. We've had 160 private tours. We've had the development and delivery of a learning programme. 1 family rave. Next time we have one, come, it's a right laugh. We've had family theatre. We've had 5 of them. We've had family music with the BBC Philharmonic, because even though we're northern, we're dead posh. We've had family fun days where we've had over 3,200 people take place. We've had the development and delivery of family tours. We've had a Colorscape Music Festival. We've had a Lantern Parade. We've had Christmas-themed events. I'm going to have a blackout in a minute. We've had Black History Month. We've had South Asian Heritage Month. We've had tea dances, of which we've had 14. We've had spring-themed activities. We've had Send Sundays. We've had a Lancashire Day, which hasn't been spelt very well, so don't read that one properly. We've had Rochdale Science Festival. We've had Youth Takeover Days. We've got an Early Years and Foundations programme, and we've got Send What's for Dinner art programme, and we've done loads more. We look a bit tired. So we're just going to talk about them all now. I'm only joking. We're just going to talk about 3 of those different things that have really made an impact in Rochdale. And I think I need to give you a bit of a... Has anyone been to Rochdale? Yeah? Oh, brilliant. Thank you. It's all right, isn't it? It gets a bad press. But we're really trying to raise that profile of Rochdale and to make it a really community space that's open to all of the community. And that's hard, because like Vicky said, when we were growing up, it was white people, it was middle class, you weren't allowed in. That's not Rochdale. That's not a typical Rochdalian. Go down the high street and we're multicultural. We've got loads of different communities and we want to celebrate that. And so some of the things that we're going to talk to you about right now celebrates the whole face of Rochdale, not just the white middle class. So let's think about that SEND programme. A fun fact. Not particularly fun actually. 1 in 7 children, young people, have SEND, that's special educational needs. But in areas of poverty, like Rochdale, that's even greater. And when our activity plan was submitted in 2018, there was an identified need for more SEND provision in Rochdale. Well, we're 7 years on now. There's cuts, that need is even higher. So we thought, right, let's make this happen. Let's make sure that people feel valued and seen and represented in Rochdale Town Hall. There's not many places in Rochdale and in other local authorities too where people with SEND can access things in a meaningful way. So we worked with the NHS Foundation And we worked with Rochdale Send team, and we really got to know people with lived experience of SEND. So that might be parents or pupils or teachers or young people. We really wanted to get a good understanding. We also had training from Sam Bowen, who's on SEND in museums. And if you're here tomorrow, I've noticed that she's speaking. Go and listen to her. She'll spark your life. She's incredible. And we also worked with Jem, who are over there somewhere. Go and chat to them as well. So what we did was create really high quality activities that are dead accessible to make sure that everybody can get involved. So we have special SEND provision, but we also make sure it's embedded in everything that we do, so nothing's exclusive. People don't miss out. And we're creating a bit of a sandstorm in Rochdale, really. It's quite exciting. I'll just tell you about some of them. We've got What's for Dinner. So on our activity plan, one of the activities was called Be a Mayor for a Day. Well, you've been to Rochdale, it's not Westminster, is it? Now those kids in Rochdale care about being mayor for a day. We decided to ask if we could change that, to allocate some money and some time to SEND. Unfortunately, National Literary Fund allowed us to change it, so we created What's for Dinner. And that was a project working with about 20 young people, aged 8 to 18, all with SEND and an artist, a community artist. And in Rochdale Town Hall, we've got this gorgeous dining room. It's beautiful. It's got this big mahogany table that was just sat empty, which is just no good, is it? So we invited the young people in and we said, all right, what would you have for dinner? And they came up with some wacky ideas. And so working with the artists, they created these gorgeous 3D sculptures. We've got massive donuts and slices of pizza and watermelon and avocado. It's fantastic, and now that populates and brings that space to life. And to celebrate what they'd created, we all came in and had a buffet. And have you ever had a buffet that's had avocado next to sushi, next to watermelon? It was eclectic, but, you know, it worked. And now they're really invested in the town hall, and they bring the pals, and they bring the family, and they bring the gran, and it's part of their experience and their story of the town. We also have the Zen Den, because we read those numbers to you before. We have family fun days that attract loads of people, which is brilliant. But I tell you what, if I were neurodiverse and I was going to that, or coming here, I'd have a little panic attack. So we have a little quiet space for busy minds, and that's open every day, whoever you are. But it also means those children with SEND can come to those busy days, take a bit of a chill out, take a breath, have a nice time in there, re-center yourself, be cocooned, and then jump out again. And if you don't want to jump out and join the big activities, so what? You've still come and you've engaged. It's a space for everyone to take part in. In all of our historic rooms, we've got little sensory carts, which we created with young people with SEND. And they're tactile, they're smelly, there's noises in there. It's just a different way of engaging in a heritage space. And we have the Lantern Parade, which Vicky will talk to you about soon. And that was beautiful. It was a big community event. And there was groups of young people with SEND parading their lanterns across other community groups. It might a diverse group, a youth group, a women's group, all coming together. It's about embracing all our different qualities in Rochdale. And I'm not going to say it's been easy. I don't know whether you've ever done SEND, but it's like your brick wall like this again and again, especially with some people who are quite resistant to change. But quite dogs with a bone, really, aren't we, Vicky? We really are. So, you know, pick your battles, but anybody want to come and tell me that we can't do SEND in our heritage space, and I'll have you. And it's beginning to ripple through now. And a lot of places in Rochdale are really crediting for the work that we're doing there. We're putting in the training and we'll keep making it happen. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Lantern Parade?
Yeah, thank you. So we've recently delivered one of our objectives of the activity plan, which was to deliver a community lantern parade. The lantern parade was already written as part of our activity plan, so we didn't have much room to shake it and shape it, but I think the relationships that we built with the communities and the local people, the schools, residents had really built up to this point where we had a huge showcase. So we worked with over 300 participants over 3 months leading up to the parade. We worked with about 5 different artists, local artists, to make artworks, costumes, different pieces that would be paraded on the night. We worked from youth groups, again, like Kat said. We worked with Possibilities, which is an adults SEND service, Pink College, again, an SEND service, youth groups, new arrival groups, refugee groups. Like I said, over 300 people participated in those workshops. And we brought those together on the night, Thursday the 10th of April, so we're just about recovered. And we had over 2,500 people come to our parade. It's the first time we've ever done it, so we were really happy that we'd got those kind of audience numbers. We, as well as doing the community work and the grassroots, which was really high quality work, we also brought in experts and professionals. So Handmade Parade are a local organisation that are near us in Hebden Bridge, really great quality carnival work. If you've never been to Lamplighters Festival, I recommend it in Todmorden. We worked with Batala, which is a 50-piece Brazilian drum band, and this was all on our square, a newly pedestrianised square, which everyone wants to be a car park. So I think by us doing things like this, it can show what that space can be. It's outside, it's safe. I've run events like this myself on roads. It was such a beautiful event to keep it safe on the square, on the pedestrianised area. And I think we've got a celebration supper coming up in a couple of weeks to celebrate everybody that was part of that, to bring everyone back together, to share their stories, to share their artwork. I think I'm going to pass back to you now, Kat. Oh, sorry. Just a picture of the square. The parade was lovely because it went through sunset, so it started at 7 o'clock, the event, and as it got dark through the night, the lanterns lit up and the parade was really visible. Over to you, Kat.
We just wanted to also mention our volunteers, because they are the heartbeat of the town hall. Does anybody work with volunteers? Does anyone get on with their volunteers? I chuffing love our volunteers. They are everything. They bring so much. Yeah, we had this injection of money. Yeah, we've got a fancy building, but it's a static fancy building without those volunteers. They go into those historic rooms and they bring it to life. They bring so much to the town hall and its story. And the tour guides, and the conservators, and the ushers, but the handbag carriers and the mentors and the therapists, they are so much more besides. And when I first started, the town hall wasn't open, and they knew that they had to do these tours, and they were handed this whacking great big script, and they were like, ooh! And we said, all right then, chuck it away. You don't need to do that. It's about your story. It's about what Rochdale Town Hall means to you. It's about what it represents. And now, the storytellers, they're enchanters, they're brilliant, they really own that town hall. And these tours that they deliver every single day have brought in £63,000 from a load of retirees from Rochdale, which I say is pretty goddamn good, really, isn't it? They're really great. We operate as a visitor attraction and a commercial enterprise too, and that can be quite difficult because they might be about to give a talk and somebody's trying to set up a room around them. That's quite challenging, but no obstacle seems to be too great for them. They're so accommodating, they crack on and they get round it. It's testament to how brilliant they are, that. We've got 42 active volunteers. Rochdale's only tiny, so to have 42 that come in, week week out, that's incredible. So how do we do that? We're kind. I might not come across as right, I'm coming across like this, aren't I? But we operate on a kindness policy. Therefore, they're kind back. And we really respect our volunteers. I look after the volunteers, but I'm one of them. I'm not telling them what to do. We're part of a team, aren't we?
Definitely.
We're all together. We really value them. We're inclusive, and that is nurtured throughout. And we expect every visitor to come to the town hall to have a fantastic time, and they'll be treated kindly by the volunteers. But you must make sure you're nice to the volunteers as well. In fact, last week we had a counsellor come in to a council meeting and they were shirty with the volunteers. And this woman would not stand for it. She went racing down. She was not happy because value the volunteers. Vicky put in a complaint and that councillor had to grovel. They were kissing her feet by the end of it because absolutely everybody who is part of the town hall helps tell the story, regardless of whether you're a paid member of staff or you're a volunteer. We're all there to make it a great space. But hopefully we've got a film now that you can watch, but otherwise I'll do it interpretive dance for. That was a joke. It'd be such a shame if you can't see this. It's really lovely, but let's see.
Can you hear it? Yeah. Brilliant.
I'm a volunteer tour guide here at the beautiful Town Hall of Rochdale. My role is to share stories and to share the history of Rochdale Town Hall with all its visitors. It's a real privilege to be able to show the people of Rochdale and visitors from further afield just what a jewel they have in Rochdale Town Hall.
Can't hear him.
It's a shame that it's stuck on grey and dismal place, isn't it, really? We're trying to get over that stereotype.
Don't tell anyone.
Perhaps we'll be able to show you that volunteer film at a different time if you want to come and find us. It's really lovely though, and maybe we'll be able to share it on our social media site.
Yeah, definitely.
Something like that. So there's an excuse to follow us, isn't it?
Oh, what a shame.
Next year, Vicky and I will be coming off that Heritage Lottery Fund, so what's next for Rochdale Town Hall? Well, it's not our decision. I think you've probably got the idea now that we're not here to preserve the building, we're here to make it a community asset. So those decisions aren't ours to make, it's the community's, and we're really lucky that over these 2 years we've got an army of volunteers with us now, haven't we?
I think as we come up to the final part of the activity plan, we're trying to put some things in place so that the project has a bit more of a legacy, that we don't just finish the project in October and then the council want to turn it back into a wedding venue, which we do struggle with. I think they quite like that. But where we've got a commitment to lottery, I think they have a 15-year contract that's kind of underwrites our roles as well, so that the council committed to making sure that we stay on after the project. But currently, as part of that, we're setting up the Town Hall Ambassadors, which is going to be a community group that will represent the Town Hall. So community leaders, different people, residents that will sit on a panel, and we're hoping that any decisions and things will be passed through our panel so that they can approve things, they can say yes, they can say no, they can figure out what it is that we want and how we want to continue. And we're going to be doing that by working with Sarah from Authentic Spark. So as a team as well, we've not really sat down as a team and thought about life after the lottery project. What are we? Who are we? So we're going to be working with Sarah to kind of, define some of our values. What is our mission? What is it that we're trying to achieve? And how can we make that legacy last longer than the money itself? We're working with the lovely Anna Cullum, who's here today, who's our evaluator. So through evaluation and community consultation, part of my role and Kat's role is to kind of continue that work, look for external funding and bring that in, because believe it or not, from the lottery, I think we had, the lottery gave us 8.9 million for the restoration, but 750,000 was for the activity plan. Our budget next year is £30,000. So we've got all this ambition, we've got this drive, we've started the momentum, and we really don't want it to drop and fall. So that a lot of our work is going to be based around that. I think back to you.
There you go. Last thing, takes a village to raise a town, the town hall, and we're all in it together. We're just saying, it's part of, we're all in it in Rochdale now, we're invested. It's a rave.
Just a few images to show you the building and how we're thinking about it differently. This is the rave that we did. Gave everybody a heart attack, and licensing were in touch with us saying, how can you run a rave in a historic building? We did even get a bit backlash from residents, some of our volunteers even, but we're trying to a part of our job is to bring in these new audiences, and not actually young people and families are not always interested in the heritage and the story and the tolls. So we're looking at different ways. This is one of our family fun days. I think the first family fun day we had 2,600 people through the door, because it was just turn up and if you want. So we didn't really, it's the first big event we've done, we didn't know what it was, so now we have to ticket it and make sure that everyone gets a break and artists can replenish their resources, and so learning along the way. But thank you, and I'm really sorry about the technology side of things, because we've got some amazing videos to show you. But do look onto our socials. Our contact details are there if you do want to speak to us. Get in touch. If you're in the neighbourhood, drop in. We'll introduce you to our volunteers, show you some of the projects that we're doing. The QR code takes you to our website where you can see our events programme. We have a swanky restaurant on site, which Jay Rain has just been to visit and give us a huge review, so you might not get in for 6 months, but think ahead. The Martlet Kitchen, but do stay in touch with us, follow us on our socials, and hopefully we'll still be here next year to tell the story. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Well done, Kat.
Well, I'm exhausted in a brilliant way. So, opening it up for questions. Has anybody got any questions you'd like to ask?
Hello, can you hear me? That was brilliant, thank you very much. Shame about the video and the lack of interpretive dance, but maybe later. We're at the very beginning of a project quite similar to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, what do you wish you knew at the beginning that you know now? Apart from probably not do it for your mental health.
You've hit the nail on the head, love.
I don't know, gosh.
You were there at the start, weren't you?
I suppose the challenge is because we come from a community development background, we're youth workers, we're community, we're artists, we eat, sleep and breathe that work, so then to come into an institution like the local authority, I think I was slightly naive myself that everybody felt like that, so then to come in and get smacked with lots of no's and things, so the resistance of pushing through, I think I wish I'd have had that oversight and I'd understood that before, because it's exhausting at times. But I think we've got over that now and we know the challenges. I mean, we have a bit of a motto of ask for forgiveness, not for permission. We just get on with things, and before everybody knows it, we've done it, it was a success and everyone's really happy. So, thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you. Yes, I was part of a project similarly funded by the lottery, which involved the renovation of a building, a lot smaller than your £9 million grant. Now, it's a number of years since I've been involved with it, but unfortunately it has now folded. Wow. So that the challenge for you guys is literally what happens next. And I don't know if there is a sustainability plan or a fundraising person who is working with you, but it is, particularly with the squeeze on local authority funding, which we're now getting into, it literally is, what is going to happen when the lottery funding runs out. And they'll be interested in that. They're probably interested in us as a case study of what didn't go right. But I'd be intrigued to know if you're having those kind of conversations already.
The ambassadors.
Yeah. I think when we showed the slide about setting up the ambassadors, doing that kind of mission statement and vision statement, which again, we've been met with a bit of resistance, and I don't think it's because people don't want to do it, it's capacity, time, but to us it's very important that it does stay through the legacy, and I think we've built such strong connections in the communities. We've got hundreds of partnerships sat in front of us with those organisations and things. So I think part of the job, obviously it's funding dependent, whether you get your money to do that, but I think a lot of the partners want to work in the building, they want to come there, so I think hopefully through the vision and the mission statement with Authentic Spark, we'll be able to create a really big juicy document that will be able to send to funders and show what our intentions are. But it'd be really interesting to speak to you about your experience and what happened, because it's like my biggest fear, really. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm a former head teacher who now works with venues to improve their special school access. I was a special school head teacher. What were your biggest barriers that you had to get over in terms of drawing those people in? You touched on your talk about that could be a challenge for some people, seeing how that happened. Who were the main sort of people that were blocking that, if you can talk about it? But what was the biggest barrier that you had to overcome?
I think it's staff perceptions, really, of how the building should be used and who should be using the building. And it's been quite difficult to change this idea that it is just a place for middle class people to hang out, and for council people to hang out, and that we're an inclusive place. And it's also about making it a welcoming space, isn't it? The all of when you do come in, because that is a big step, coming into a big building that's new, being a welcoming experience, being a kind space. So I know that, I joke that we operate with kindness, but it is, you're going to get a kind welcome when you come to the town hall.
Yeah, definitely. I think we were resisted with that. Cat's put on some amazing training, so we invite the wider team, which is security, which have a huge impact on the building. You know, the buildings managers, those people, but again, are they coming? Not always, they'll dip in and out, you know, so actually what's the commitment from the wider team? We've got the restaurant on site, which is really swanky and lovely, but can you get a sausage roll for your child? Probably not, you know, so we're trying to seep into the different departments to make sure that our vision sits across the whole building, really. But we're quite forceful. We don't take no for an answer.
You will have a nice time.
Is there anybody else that's like that?
Thanks very much. I know Rochdale Town Hall very well, and I would urge you all to visit. It's absolutely stunning. And one of the things that's very striking is that despite the fact it's huge, intricate rooms and rooms of amazing restoration work, you can feel that local people have literally had their hands on every single surface or their voice in every single story. So that was a reflection. And my question really is, out of those 300 activities and more, are there particular moments or activities that you're just really, really proud of?
I'm super proud of the send work we do. It's so beautiful to see families coming in. I forgot to mention actually, so once a month we have Send Sunday, and we close off the entire building to everybody but send families. So if you want to go to the fancy restaurant, you need to go round the outside and just go to the restaurant. And it's gorgeous, and the amount of families that say thank you, this is a safe space, and I'm there every time, and there are children and they have a massive meltdown, and then they're okay, they're absolutely fine, and they're buzzing to be there, and they're welcome to do that, and that's okay, and they're coming back, and they're not having the meltdown next time, and they want to play with their favourite toy, and they like it here because it's safe and it's inviting and it's inclusive. And then those families are now coming to theatre that isn't just for Send, it's for everybody, but this is my safe space and I'll come and explore it in this way too. I'm super buzzing that that's happening.
Go on, I'll let you.
Hi, fantastic energy. Really love that energy, and yay up Northerners. Could you tell me a little bit more about how you got the message out to the community about recruiting for volunteers?
Yeah, I was the volunteer coordinator before Kat, which is really good because I have a really good insight into her job, which is a full-time job that she delivers in 4 days, because I used to do that for 2 years before Kat. So part of my role at the time was to recruit the volunteers. I mean, never quite worked on a project like it. In community work, when you're trying to get people to help you do a litter pick, it's not so attractive, is it? But actually the town hall has this huge magnetic pull to it. People want to be there, they want to be part of it, but we kind of connected again with the voluntary sector, community and voluntary sector. We were working with lots of different groups. We were in libraries. We did a lot of outreach work, going out doing talks, presentations, telling people what opportunities there were. So for instance, for our tour guide, we did a "What is a tour guide? Come and find out" day. Come and have a look in the local museum. 84 people turned up. We'd only booked a room for 30. So, you know, it's always overachieving. Everybody wants to be part of it, which makes our job quite easy, really. I mean, we've managed to retain a lot of those volunteers as well. But I think being everywhere, we were on radio, we were on the local Bangladeshi radio station, we just really, as community workers, we know where the community are and those leaders and things, so connecting to those people. It's been really, really good, really good.
Okay, so I think we're going to draw it to a close. I don't think we needed any video. It was excellent. Thank you very much. Please, could you show your appreciation to Vicky and to Kat?
Well done, Kat.